competition, all a part of the Sino Sport Games.
I didn't know I had to come see you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're stuck. We'll just take a minute. I know you're busy. Come in the shade. I'm so pleased to introduce Karen Pollock and Sizzle, and we have a double championship, the 16-inch Grand Prix, and now, thanks to that, another Triple Crown winner. Only the fourth handler dog team to accomplish that in the history of USDAA. Okay, how's that feel?
I don't know. I'm still shaking. I can't believe we did it. We worked really hard, and that was a lot of fun.
Did work hard. All out blast.
Watching
All out
people
blast.
like Julie run.
As we kick things off with the first dog, Lin, a Border Collie handled by Takami Ono in from Japan.
Well, we have a chance for some history here, Julie.
How so?
Well, Juice and Marcus Tops in this class, if they win today, will have won first place in each of the three tournaments. It has never before happened in the same year.
Oh, the same year. Now I see. Wow, what a nice run. Takami front crossing before the dog walk. She is really putting on a show. She is called for the downside dog walk contact, unfortunately. She's turning in a very powerful performance. They had a miscommunication there at the A-frame. She maybe was being more careful of that contact and moved in on Lin a little bit too much. Pushing out, front crossing before number 19.
Time of 33.98 to kick off our 22-inch class for Lin and
You know
Takami.
what? That was a run to be proud
As we
of.
get set for Wally
She
and
does have 5
Stacey
falls.
Gowdy.
Well done. Now this dog and handler I know and love. Wally is 3 years old. Just a baby. Most of these handlers are leading out prior to the jump before the seesaw. Nicely managed 180 turn. Nicely managed turn. She had that rounded turn back. Well, I'm hesitating because we have a missed contact on the dog walk. Stacey chooses to front cross before the A-frame. Nice tight 180 there at 14.15. She's doing a beautiful job, and for a very young, inexperienced dog, what a screaming,
Time of
beautiful run.
31.40, 31.40 for Wally and Stacey.
They had 5 faults on that missed dog walk contact.
Coming
That
up next
was
is
a phenomenal
Drifter.
run.
Drifter is handled by Roseanne Damasio in from Gilbertsville, Pennsylvania.
You know, we do have some shadows coming in across that dog walk now.
You know, you're right about that.
These,
That could play a factor. Right now, it will play a factor. Not when it's completely in shade, but now that it's half and half.
yeah, you got these,
Absolutely right.
these bright bands across
She
it.
has a very well-known, fast-running dog walk, but she too has received 5 faults for the downside dog walk contact. She back crosses the landing side of 14, pulls to the weave poles, and will back cross at 18.
30.52, 30.52 with 5 faults for Drifter and Roseanne.
So just as with
Steeple
the
coming
prior
up
class,
next, Kim Terrell out of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
just as with the prior class, we are starting out with dogs going for it and handlers.
And I didn't say
incurring
anything.
5 faults.
I didn't say anything
you
about.
didn't do that
Okay.
one. But I think it's to the handler's credit that they're
I agree.
pushing hard enough.
It's tough to go in first.
Yeah, yeah. Good job. And yet we have another powerful run. Steeple is clear of the dog walk. No faults. Coming around clean to the A-frame. Back crossing the landing side of 14. Very tight back cross on Kim's part. She back crosses the weave poles as well and lateral send out to 18.
Clean run of 30.31, 30.31 for Steeple and Kim.
Now that's a clear round. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. And we have a quite a time
Next
to
up
beat.
on line, in from San Jose, California, is Sweep and Jim Basic.
Yeah, Kim really worked to drive her dog down into the corner off the end of the dog walk to make sure she got that contact.
Yeah.
And that angle of the dog walk, having the handler want to pull left could be a factor in just losing that focus for a split second.
It certainly could, no question about that. Jim Basic and Sweep, his young dog. Once again, the handlers of these hot young dogs are probably very proud that they've made it this far in this company. He's going to, well, we have a downside A-frame contact fault. Jim also back crosses the weaves and front crosses before number 19.
31.52, 31.42, 5 faults for Sweep and Jim. Coming up next on course, a Triple Crown winner, Juice, and Marcus Tops in from Fate, Texas.
Marcus and Juice have a lot of fans here. Juice competing at 22 inches this year. As Kenneth was saying, she's won the steeplechase last night. She has won the team championship today. He is clean through the A-frame. Back cross at landing side of 14. He pulls to the weave poles. Big surprise, he rear crosses number 18. Very tight serpentine.
A time of 30.77, 30.77 for Juice and Marcus Tops.
Oh, that did not take the lead, so he's second. He's second in the standings right now.
Okay, folks, I can't.
Coming up next on course is
disappointed about a
Skylar.
run like
Skylar out of
Well, yeah,
Leawood, Kansas,
20
handled by
20
Ann
a quarter of
Czar.
a second.
It was a beautiful run. I want
Beautiful
to
run.
mention that Marcus also chose to rear cross at the number 20 jump, which, again, most handlers don't do that. Rear cross right at the end unnecessarily, but Marcus likes that move and it works for him. On course now, Ann and Skylar. She's managing her contacts and accidentally
refusal.
pulls her dog
5
off
faults.
of the double and now causes a bar down. It's
10.
tricky. The dog is looking for the handler coming out of the chute. That's a natural thing for the dog to do. The handler is better off presenting himself from in front. Front cross prior to 19.
Time of 34.24, 34.24 with 5 faults. Coming up next is Kona. Kona in from Jacksonville, Florida, handled by Diana Wilkins.
We are managing our contacts pretty carefully on this run. Conservative seesaw. Oh, we have another fault. Downside dog walk. Nice, tight back cross, landing side of 14. But that back cross being so tight helps set the dog wide over 16. I'll explain in a minute.
Time of 32.03. 32.03 with 5 faults for Kona and Diana.
That was a very nice run.
Coming in from Briceville, Florida, Quick and Stuart Ma.
Stewart actually running with his dog at the start rather than leading out. He's lateral and pulls to the dog walk. Manage that contact. Downside dog walk. 5 faults. Beautiful blind cross at the A-frame and a front cross at the weaves. Stewart escorts to the number 18 jump in
Time of
order to tighten the turn to
31.53,
19.
31.53 with 5 faults for Quick and Stewart.
Nice time, 31.53.
Next up on course will be Encore. Encore, handled by Susan Garrett from Alberton, Ontario.
Encore is a screamer. We love her. Has one of the fastest running dog walks in the country. And perfectly honest contact, but she pushes her off the A-frame. Encore thought she was being cued out to the side. Back cross at the weave poles. Lateral push to 18, front cross before 19.
Time of 30.98, 30.98 for Encore and Susan.
I didn't see any penalties out there.
I don't think there
Next
was
up
a
on
think the
refusal
judge-
called.
is
I think the
Driven.
judge was looking at a
Driven,
misdirection and
handled
not a
by Kate
refusal of the
Moreau.
A-frame.
That's correct. Well,
there was no
we
call.
can't see
California.
that plane from here, and I'm sure she did not pass
Yeah,
the
we're
plane of the
we're sitting
contact.
perpendicular to it, and there's no way we could tell
That's
from
correct.
here.
But remember, the upside of the yellow line would be the refusal plane. She had plenty of room there. It just cost her time. This is Driven. Whoa, very wide turn. Let's see. Beautiful dog walk up contact in spite of a huge wide turn around the 180.
Oh!
But unfortunately, the line was set a little too wide, and Driven goes off course.
There is a very subtle serpentine coming across through that tire. It angles out slightly. They got to pull them back in, and that sends them out slightly. And it's a very
And
subtle
Driven and Kate
serpentine
with an
out
effort.
there.
We also have a bar down at number 19. But the wrong course is elimination.
Next up on course will be Ivy. Ivy in from Garland, Texas, handled by Emily Snyder.
Ooh, Emily falls. Can you pick yourself up? Good job. Good job. Handler down, handler up, handler push, dog on course. Unfortunately, we have a missed downside dog walk contact, but what a nice recovery on the part of this handler. Good, and I like what she's doing there. She front crossed very early on the landing side of 16 to tighten the turn to the weave poles.
Time of 33.15
Nice job, Emily.
with 5 faults, 33.15 for Ivy and Emily.
Other than possibly interrupting her train of thought, that
Coming
fall,
up next on course,
she
is
recovered
Pyro.
nicely.
She did a
Pyro
good
in
job.
from Sanford,
She-
North Carolina with Rhonda Carter.
She had to recover even before she got up because she had to push the dog out to that number 6 jump, and she did it. Rhonda and Pyro. Wonderful dog walk.
Excellent, excellent. You can see the dog just focused on getting to the bottom.
That lateral distance around that arc played very well. Nice tight turn. Rhonda, another handler back crossing the weaves. Pulling to the serpentine.
Time of 31.75, 31.75 for Pyro and Rhonda. Coming up next on course is Jock. Jock from Kent Lakes, New York, handled by Lynn Kahn.
Lynn and Jock, nice and efficient around the 180, back to the dog walk. Missed dog walk contact. The crowd is now calling it before the judge. Back cross landing side of 14. And a front cross after the weaves.
Time of 31.44 with 5 faults, 31.44 for Jock and Lynn. Coming up next on course is Tony. Tony is handled by George Baker. They made their trip in from Alton, New Hampshire.
George and Tony.
Oh,
Unfortunately, Tony did not see the push out to the number 6 jump, and he skipped it. So so we have an elimination, but
it's
let's see.
an elimination.
And again, he's missed the second element of the 180. He's a young dog, a very young dog, and he's just pulling in very tightly. He's conscious of his steering.
Nice effort there by Tony and George. Once we get set for our next competitor, Indy. Indy in from San Juan, Puerto Rico with Rafael Quinones.
I just want to mention again, we have several young dogs in this class whose experience level or lack of it is causing them some problems, but their handlers have to be extremely proud that they have made it to the final in this company. Indy goes wide.
He kept him off that jump from going
Completely.
back. Oh, and then he lost it.
Yes. Into the tunnel instead of the dog walk, so we have an elimination.
You know, it's so common when something goes wrong and you try to compensate, it just throws you all out of rhythm.
That's right, exactly that. So it's very hard to recover, and it's something that happens to everyone. Good.
Indy and Rafael. Coming up next on course is Jackson. Jackson and Sonia Moss in from Rapid City, South Dakota.
Jackson and Sonia, experienced competitors, good team. We were called for a fly-off on the seesaw. Beautiful up contact on the dog walk, and called for the down dog walk contact, as so many other dogs have been. Good. Good. Nice, tight pull to the weave poles. Front cross after the weaves. Setting up the serpentine closing.
Time of 31.07, 31.07 for Jackson and Sonia. Coming up next on course is Presto. Presto in from Lake Elmo, Minnesota with his handler, Terry Porch.
Speaking of young dogs, this is Terry's youngster. Nice job. Terry escorted all the way out to the 180 in order to tighten the turn back, and he has managed the contacts on that dog walk, both up and down. Downside A-frame, safe and clear. Early front cross going into the weaves. He's just doing a beautiful job handling this dog. A lot of energy. Terry is there. He's taking nothing for granted.
Time of 31.68, 31.68 for Presto and Terry.
Well done.
Coming up next on course is Jammer. Jammer, a Border Collie handled by Maureen Strenfeld.
Well, our time to beat on the course is still 30.31.
Correct.
Which was very early on, our fourth dog in the ring.
That's right.
Steeple and Kim Terrell.
Jammer and Maureen. Seesaw problem, 5 faults. Up, dog walk. Contact missed. Back cross, number 14, dog misses 15 entirely. This is just one of those courses.
There's a lot to think about all the way around.
There's a lot to think about. I think the handlers are reacting to the contact calls. It's well managed seesaw. clear over the dog walk, I'm happy to say. Calls him to the A-frame to make sure the line is set, but misses the downside A-frame contact. She's back crossing the weaves. Escorts to number 18 and serpentine the
Time of
closing.
31.25. 31.25 for Ace and Nancy.
Well, our clear rounds are only about
Still the time to
25%.
beat, 30.31. Coming up next online will be Toby. Toby in from Jaffrey, New Hampshire, handled by Lauren Mitchell.
Well, that's the badge of courage around here.
Yes.
Pushing a little too hard in the final there's no shame in that.
There's a lot of spots in this course that can sneak up on you. Put too much emphasis on any part of it and you lose it.
Right. Toby and Lauren have had quite a year. Big strided dog. He's got that up contact. We saw it. And he's got his down. Good job, Lauren. She's being careful, managing every element. Every element. Make it happen, Lauren. No, she's got a refusal at number 14. I hope you folks couldn't hear that. That was Lauren, not me.
34.41 for Toby and Lauren.
I don't think that was quite what she wanted.
Coming up next on course will be Nix.
A heartfelt
Nix and Kathy Lewis in from the state of Washington.
Nice run, though. She has to be pleased with that effort. Nice run. Another downside dog walk contact miss. I think it's, as you say, Ken, I think the handlers are possibly making a movement toward the chute that invites the dog to leave a little early. But we can't know.
Yeah, it's just happening over and over again.
31.28. 31.28 for Nix and Kathy. Next up on course is Dilly. Dilly, handled by Amanda Shine from Mansfield, Massachusetts.
Just 2 people to go here, so still trying to beat that 30.31.
Now, Dilly typically has very solid contacts. Let's see what we've got today. That looked perfect.
Drove right to the bottom.
Perfect. Come on, Amanda. Back cross at 14. Tight front cross into the weave poles. This is very doable. Lateral send, front cross
Right
at
turn.
19.
Time of
Fantastic.
30.83. 30.83 for Dilly and Amanda.
Does that move her into second
third place, third place. Behind Juice and Steeple.
Still the time to beat is 30.31 as we come to our final competitor here in the 22-inch class. This is Slick. Slick is in from Santa Fe, New Mexico, handled by Steve Moon.
Remember that the last to run here, Slick, had the fastest time coming into the final.
Oh.
Fly off on the seesaw is called, and we have missed the first element of the 180. So a refusal. He prevents the off course, but we have 10 faults. Back cross the landing side of 14. Back cross weave poles. Front cross at 19.
Nice effort for Slick and Steve to round out our 22-inch class.
22-inch Grand Prix 2008 champion, Kim Terrell and steeple. I have to ask you. All right, steeple. Tell us. And another thing about his wonderful win.
It was just lovely. I mean, he ran everything I wanted him to. He was there for me. I just supported him. He's a wonderful dog.
You did a fantastic job, and you were fourth to run in the class. 20 dogs chased you, and you put the pressure on them, and nobody could get through it clean.
We set the time, and it was close on everyone. I had a great time. Thank you.
Great job, Steeple. Tell us.
Get it. Watch it. We're shoots. Shoots. Come here. Hey.
Nice thing about this is how generously spaced the obstacles are. So yes, it's incredibly challenging, but the dogs will stretch out and run, and we're going to see some big dogs turn in very fast times here. I can hardly wait. We have a fly off on the seesaw. Smile. Starts off a little too aggressively. Boy, he's flying. Fall off the dog walk. He just couldn't handle it. That's right. He held on to it for the traverse ramp. You're right. That will only be a missed contact, and he is fine. But
You got a hold down and another miss.
You're killing me.
we have